Hey, it's Melissa Daniels from Strabismus to Stereopsis, and I wanted to talk to you guys today about the difference between Vivid Vision and Optics Trainer. Now, both of these programs are designed for virtual reality headsets like this one. I want to talk to you about how these programs are the same, how they're different, how they work, and all of that. And the best way for me to do that is to actually show you so that you can see what the difference is. I can talk all day, but when you actually see inside the programs, you'll really understand the difference. Okay, so we're gonna go inside Optics Trainer. I'm gonna show you around the main menu, what that looks like, and show you a couple of the games so you can kind of get a feel for how the program works. So let's get started. All right, are we there? Okay, you can see what I can see. So this is the main menu area of Optics Trainer. First, we're gonna go into Tappy Birds. This is my favorite one. Some things to notice. I'll try to hold still so you don't get sick. So it starts with the directions and kind of tells you how that works. If you look to the right, you can see what level you're on and how much time you have left and your score. If you look to the left, you can do a tutorial and then choose easy, medium, or hard. So I'm gonna go with easy. That's a major difference that you would have with Vivid Vision, is that the player actually chooses what game they're playing and what level they're playing. So now the purpose is to just touch whichever bird is closest. Now, in the beginning, it's super easy, right? I can tell pretty easily. But as it gets more difficult, I love having these hands because I can interact. I can try to go behind the bird and see that depth. I can go in front, and so I'm always looking for the space and the depth, which is really cool in this game. I really love that. Another great part of this game, this is my favorite, is the birds in the sky. Do you see those? So to me, I can make those appear three-dimensional, which is really cool. So that's Tappy Birds. Let me go back to the main menu. Okay, so we're back at the main menu. Let's take a look at Precision Pop. So this one has some great settings. I'm not currently using the program, so my optometrist doesn't have any settings, but what can happen, let's just start it so you can see what's going on, is I'm trying to match whatever is on the big balloon and pop the ones that are the same, right? So those ones are the same. Well, there's a setting that makes it so only your weak eye can actually see the symbols, and so you have to use your weak eye to do this. I really love this one as well. And you might notice, like, I might not love these games based on how they were meant to be played, but they're, for me, as someone with strabismus who's trying to learn to use their eyes together and see depth, I'm looking at other things besides just how the game is meant to be played. I'm looking at, like, can I picture space between objects, and can I interact with my environment in a way that makes that easier? So that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking at when I'm comparing differences. So I like this next game called Brain Bounce because we've got some cues here, some monocular cues, like the way that this room is built definitely gives it that perspective and that depth. So that's Optics Trainer. I love a couple of the games, and some of the games I'm like, they're okay, but I don't know. Like the Fruit Samurai one is really hard to get the fruit. And I don't know if it's because of my vision or because of the way the setup is, or maybe I need to stand back, I don't know. But I love Tappy Birds. I love the Precision Pop where you're popping the balloons, and the Brain Bounce. There's a lot of games where you can really visualize where you're at, how far away things are, and those are super helpful. So things I want you to remember, like note from that, you have the menu option. You can quit playing a game anytime you want. To me, that's kind of dangerous because I'm 34 and I get frustrated and I'm like, I'm not playing this game anymore, and I end it, right? So imagine that with like your kid. That can be kind of tricky. So you definitely would want to make sure you're using this program with somebody who has like got some good self-control, who's going to do just what the optometrist said and follow a specific, guideline on which games to play and how long to play them for and at what levels to play them. I'm about to jump into Vivid Vision. So some things that you should know is when you log in to your Vivid Vision account, all you're going to see is the main home screen that says play. There's a play button and that's it. There's no menu where you select the games or the times. Your optometrist actually makes your whole program in their office, and then it just comes onto your device automatically. And so it tells you which games you're going to play, the difficulty levels, the length of time you're going to play them. Okay, so this is the main menu. I've got my Strabismus to Stereopsis account going. I can sync it at any time, and it sends all of my information to my optometrist. But all I do is I come in and hit the play button and see what he has for me. Each of these games is going to have it's not going to be very fun to watch, I'm realizing, because all the exciting parts I can only see with my amblyopic eye, I guess you could say. And so you guys aren't going to see all the exciting parts, like the ball that I'm trying to hit with the paddle and break the boards, or the spaceship that I have flying, or different aspects like that. So try to imagine that I'm hitting the ball. But the thing that is really cool about this game is so many different parts in Vivid Vision. So many aspects can be adjusted and changed, and I love that. Like the size of the ball, how fast the ball is moving, which I can see the paddles. Like there's just so many different features in each game that can be adjusted. It's really, really, really cool and like specific to the patient. So one thing I love about this game, sometimes I don't pick any fruit and I just look at the trees and the branches, and they're so vivid and there's so much depth. And so I'll kind of use my hand and interact with the different aspects of just the trees, and I'll just sit here and hang out for a while. Now some of the rings have blue arrows and some of them have red. So that one's red, this one's red, this one's blue. So I avoid the red ones, I try to get the blue ones. So one thing I do like that this one has is that as soon as you touch it, you feel a vibration on the remote, and that's like another cue to your brain, like, yep, you touched it. So these ones are really, really good. They're like a little boring, but so good for my brain. They make a really big difference. So generally speaking, there are a few more games than that. So we only had 5, and there are 9. So my optometrist must have just opted for me to do those specific ones, which is totally fine. And that's the thing that's great, is that he can change that from week to week. He can see, okay, she's doing really good on these ones, I'm going to switch it over to these ones, and mixing it up for my brain is actually really, really good. When I change from, instead of doing the exact same thing every single day, that frequent change actually really helps me. And that's something that Vivid Vision has, is so many games. They have 9 different games plus the 4 tests. And so you can do the same skills. You can do Vergence or you can do anti-suppression, but with different games and in different scenarios with different backgrounds. So you're using different skills and doing it in a little bit of a different way. So I really like that aspect of Vivid Vision, that there's so much variety. I also like that they have more settings, so many. Like, yeah, how long should my arm be? How big should the bubbles be? How big, small should they be? When you're picking fruit, do you want it to be big fruit? Do you want it to be small fruit? Do you want, like, all these different things? And those are things that you can adjust over time. So you might need the fruit to be huge at first, and then slowly over time you can decrease the size until your eyes are working better. So I really like that. But then you've got Optics Trainer, where they've got a lot more patient control. And so that's something that I really like too. They both have great games. I've made tons of progress with both. If you want to know more about my specific successes that I had while I was using each program, because I used Optics Trainer for a year and now I've been using Vivid Vision for 3 months. And so I just wanted to try them both, and I think they're both fantastic. I do think that Vivid Vision is a little bit better. Just more games, more settings. It's controlled by the doctor, so it feels like more therapeutic, like it should be a prescription, right? It's like, this is really working my brain in a different way. And Optics Trainer does too, but it's more patient directed, and I think it's really good for more of a maintenance type program, or in the beginning as you're working up to it. But Vivid Vision is the more intense option. As far as cost goes, you do get what you pay for. Optics Trainer is only $50 a month. It's pretty inexpensive. Actually, it's really inexpensive as far as subscription type services go for vision therapy. But it doesn't have quite as much to offer, but it is still a great program. I made a ton of progress with it. Vivid Vision, it's hard to nail down an exact price. I have tried, but I call different clinics, and I have my own clinic, and the variety is huge. So the patient pays for the subscription through their office, and so it depends on how much the office wants to charge. They might charge a lot to adjust your settings and monitor everything. I'm gonna turn this off. They might charge a lot for all that kind of stuff, or they might not charge anything. It might just be included, that's just considered part of your care, and they charge more for your weekly visits. How they decide to charge for it there's quite a bit of variety. The very lowest I've seen offered is about $150 a month. More like $120 a month is the lowest I've seen. The most I've been offered was $300 or $400 a month. No, $300 a month, but that clinic I think was trying to gouge me. So it all completely depends on how your provider chooses to do it, but it is gonna cost more than Optics Trainer. That is a given, and you're getting more for it. So you have to kind of weigh that, what it's worth. And so for me, what I've decided to do is I used Optics Trainer in the beginning, and as I was kind of getting warmed up, I don't know if I could do it again. I might start with Vivid Vision and just go intense, and then use Optics Trainer more for maintenance. But that's my plan, is after I finish my in-office vision therapy and I'm kind of done, I fully plan on keeping up with the virtual reality is really helpful. So I plan on paying for subscription through my optometrist to Optics Trainer for maybe the rest of my life, I don't know, so that I can continue working on that at home at my own pace, work on specific skills that I want. So I definitely think both of these programs have their place. They both are really effective at getting the eyes to work together. So much success. If you want to read more about my success, I was saying this earlier, you want to read more about my success, just go to my blog. It's lazyeyesolutions.com, and if you do /verses, then it'll take you to the article where I talk all about the difference between Optics Trainer and Vivid Vision. I go through and make some charts comparing different aspects of it, and then I go through my personal experience with both and the successes I experienced with both programs. So again, that's lazyeyesolutions.com/VS versus. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I hope you found it helpful to see the differences and really go inside Optics Trainer and Vivid Vision and see how they work. Thanks.